Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate Mercy. Today we are going to be going through all of my June favorites. So if you like these types of videos, hang tight and let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to try to do this in the order that I do my base. I use the same serum month after month after month. And actually that's not entirely true. I tried a new serum, but it is not a monthly favorite. So I'm not going to talk about it in this video. But currently I am using the Drunk Elephant C-Firma serum, and it's a vitamin C serum, and I really love it a lot. So I digress, but we're not going to talk about that today. We are going to talk about this new to me moisturizer, and it's by a brand that I had never heard of, but it's Zatik. It's an organic product, and it's a glow moisture cream for normal to dry skin. That's me. And it has sea buckthorn and raspberry. I actually got this in a subscription box called Goddess Provisions. I actually enjoy that subscription box. I don't need it every month, but like sometimes I enjoy getting like little stones and like aromatherapy things, and so if those are the types of things that you're into, I would recommend subscribing to that box. I think it's like $34 a month, but I really enjoy this. It feels very nice on my skin. It really does a great job of hydrating. In fact, because I have combination skin, I find that in the winter I will probably be able to use this in the morning, but right now where it's summertime, I live in New England, and for some reason the humidity and heat has been off the charts. Like, we are more humid than Florida right now. What is happening? But I digress. So I have been wearing this at night, and I find that my skin wakes up and it feels refreshed and nourished. I don't find that this is breaking me out, so I really enjoy this. I'll try to link their website or where you can find this down below and include all the prices and all that good stuff. The primer that I really enjoyed using in the month of June is the HOURGLASS Mineral Veil Primer. I know this is a cult favorite for me and my skin type. I enjoy this especially in the warmer months because obviously the heat is bringing that sweat forward, and I feel like this does a good job of kind of controlling what comes out of my skin and that may interact with my makeup in a really negative way. So I really enjoy this. It does have an SPF of 15, and it does leave a little bit of like a weird white cast, but I find for me and my skin tone that it's easy to kind of, I don't want to say cover it up, but like it doesn't remain that way, so I don't remain looking ashy or gray toned. So for me, this is just, I love this. I would recommend this if you have common, but worth it. For foundation, I have been using the Stay Naked by Urban Decay. It's a up to 24-hour wear weightless liquid foundation. This shade is 30 CP, so it's actually a little bit too dark for me in the wintertime or early springtime, but now that we finally have the sun out again, I am not cool. I really enjoyed this foundation. I use one pump. I prefer less coverage in the summertime, especially where I know ultimately that the sweat is going to more often than not defeat me, which is so rude, but it is what it is. So I really enjoy this. I use one pump of it and spread it out all over my face. I add like a minuscule dot if maybe I need more coverage in some areas. Typically for some reason like my cheeks and my nose need a little bit more coverage, but I just find that this gives even coverage. It's not full coverage with the one pump that I use, but that's not the look that I'm going for. But you certainly can build this up to be full coverage if that is the look that you're going for. I use this with a brush, again, because I'm not going for that full coverage, whereas like a beauty blender or some kind of a makeup sponge is going to push that product into your skin and build it up more. I'm trying to shear it out. So if you, and if you have similar skin, to not emotionally handle that. So just disclaimer. This is in my project pan. So this is by Jeffree Star. You probably could have guessed. And this is the Magic Star setting powder. I'm pretty positive is what it's called. It's what the Unicard it looks like. I have the shade Fair. This is in my project pan. I really enjoy the texture and consistency of this product. I use a very light veil over my foundation to make sure that it stays in place. It's in my project pan because for what it is and for how much you get, it's not a great cost-effective option. So I am going to use this up and I probably won't repurchase it. However, it does do a great job of keeping my face matte and looking very smooth throughout the day. So I enjoy this product. For bronzer in June, I've actually been using a cream product. I've been using cream blushes historically for around a year, not every day, but I started dabbling in cream products, blushes specifically, about a year ago. And this is actually my first cream bronzer in a while. I had tried the Hoola. This product is by Tarte. It is their Breezy Cream Bronzer in the shade Seychelles. So I'll give you a peek-see as to what this looks like. So this is what the product looks like. This is actually fairly new, and oddly enough, I don't see people talking about it, which is so strange to me because I love this product. I love this product. So it's a bronzer, it's not a contour. It is what I'm wearing. Works really beautifully on the skin. I find that it works less beautifully over powder. So one of the things I actually really love about the Natasha Denona formula is that I can put my cream blush over my powder. You can do that with this. I think the snafu for me is that, yes, again, you want to use that stippling motion, but to properly blend my bronzer to the way that I like it, I want to stipple and then sweep. So I do prefer this before I put on my powders, but you can put it over powder. It's just harder to work with that way. So I love this. I'm going to, so I digress. I am probably going to keep this in my drawer for the month of July just because I've been really, really loving it, and I think it's really pretty. The other thing I actually really like about this, like I mentioned, I do a thin veil of powder all over my face, but it does not, it still shows through. Like, you still can see that I have bronzer on. For my under eye powder, I've been using none other than Auntie Pat McGrath. And I've been using, it's her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder, and I got the shade Light, which is a very, very fair, very white consistency. I'm not going to like show it up close because it is a very, very finely milled formula and it's going to fly everywhere, and this is expensive. So I am not trying to spill it everywhere, but it's a white powder, but it does a really lovely job of gently coating the under eyes with powder without it being too cakey, without it looking thick and heavy and drying, but it does a lovely job of brightening and blurring. I cannot say enough good things about this powder. I will repurchase this when I am out, and I have a unfortunate sinking suspicion that I am going to run out because I use this every single time and I don't know what makeup is without it. So I love it, and it sets my concealer just, oh, chef's kisses. I'm not somebody that likes to bake. I feel like it ends up on camera, it looks beautiful and flawless, but in real life, for the real me, it's absurd. So it's gonna be a no for me. For my concealer, again, Project Pan. It is the Jeffree Star Magic Wand Concealer. I'm honestly not sure of the name. It is a good concealer. It's a nice consistency. It doesn't make my under eyes look overly dry. It does cancel out any darkness or blue or purple that I have under there. A little bit goes a long way, so I will caution you with that. I do 2 dots on the inside of my eyes, and then I do 1 dot out here so that I'm highlighting this part of my face. But I really enjoy this formula. I think it is top notch. It's expensive for how much you get though, so that's something to bear in mind. Same as the powder. Both products work beautifully, but for the amount of product you get for the price you pay, it is more expensive products. For my blushes this month, I have been using 2 actually. So the first one that I've been using is by Tarte, and I have the shade Peaceful. So this is what it looks like. I think it's really pretty. I'll do a... So it's not swatching the best, but that's okay because it applies beautifully. So this is what it looks like on my little paw here. So it does have like a hint of shimmer in it. What I do appreciate about it though is that it's not glitter, first of all, and it's not actually a glowy blush. It's more of a sheen. So it's not, if you do not like a shimmery or glittery blush, this is not that. It looks more like a satin formula. I just think it's really pretty. It has like it has the pink, but it also has a little bit of coral in it. And then what I've been putting over that as like a blush topper is this one by e.l.f. And I got this from Ulta online a while ago. I don't remember exactly how long ago now, but it says Brilliant Mauve. Nothing about this is mauve to me. So I think this one might be mislabeled, so I apologize. I don't know the real name of this, and there's no other packaging like that I have left to indicate what it is, but this is indeed a shimmery blush, so I'll do a little swatchy swatch right next to it. So this one, it doesn't have glitter in it, but it does have shimmer in it, and you can see like next to that one that like this one is definitely a shimmer. But I think it's beautiful. I love it. Obviously, I'm wearing it today. So this combo has been, so I take this product and I squeeze the bottle and I push down until there is like, my finger is lightly coated in product, because you can go overboard with this and it will spread out instead of building up. So it's not one of those products where the more you add, the more blinding the highlight will be. No, it'll just go further and your whole face will be highlighted. So just be mindful of that. So I do a light coating and then I pat it in with that one finger that I used, and then I take a second finger and blend it in until it's in the spots that I want it to be, and then I go over it with a powder highlighter. Again, so this is in a project pan. I have had this since it launched way back when, so it's in my project pan. I'm trying to use it all up. I am somebody who struggles with texture on their skin, so for me, this product really emphasizes texture on my skin. So this is not my favorite formula, but I do love the glow that this product gives. So I find that when I put down my Charlotte Tilbury and then I go in, oh, by the way, this is in the shade Peach Goddess. I find that when I use my Charlotte Tilbury and then I go in with this with a brush, it like really makes it look like it's emollient and like it's melted into the skin. And I have been using my KVD Brow Struck Powder in the shade Taupe. This is actually on clearance on Sephora's website for $8. This is what it looks like. What I do enjoy about it is that it has like a little bit of sheen in it. So you can't see it on camera, but in real life it gives the brows like a little bit of a sheen, not like a glitter or a shimmer, but it makes the hair strokes look more realistic, like because our hair naturally has a little bit of shimmer and dimension to it, so it doesn't leave our brows looking quite as flat. So all right, we're almost at the end. My eyeshadow palette for the month of June has been the Norvina palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Not her pro palettes, but like the Anastasia palettes. That's what the inside looks like. I just feel like there's a lot of cool looks that you can do with this. There's like really bright, springy, colorful looks, but then